What if the richest man on earth was once a lonely, broken boy who was beaten so badly by bullies that he ended up in a hospital? What if the person building rockets to Mars and electric cars that changed the entire auto industry was the same child who had no friends, found comfort only in books, and cried himself to sleep in a country far from everything he dreamed about? What if the most controversial, most polarizing, most relentlessly ambitious human being alive today was simply a boy who refused, at every single stage of his life, to accept the world as it was? This is the story of Elon Musk, and it is unlike anything you have heard before. June 28, 1971, Pretoria, South Africa. Elon Reeve Musk was born into a family of unusual intelligence and unusual tension. His father, Errol Musk, was an engineer and property developer, a complex, difficult man whose relationship with his son has been described as deeply painful. His mother, May Musk, was a model and dietitian, strong, independent, and fiercely capable. Elon was the eldest of three children. From the very beginning, he was different, intensely different. He read encyclopedias for fun. He finished them. At age 9, he read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica from cover to cover. He did not just read stories. He absorbed information the way other children absorb sunlight. It was not studied. It was hunger. But school was not a refuge. It was a battlefield. Elon was socially awkward. He was small for his age. He said whatever he was thinking without filtering it, a quality that made him brilliant and made him a target simultaneously. He was bullied mercilessly, not teased, not excluded, physically attacked. There was one incident so severe, a group of boys threw him down a flight of concrete stairs and beat him until he lost consciousness, that he required hospitalization. He went home with a face his own mother almost did not recognize. He has spoken about that period of his life with a rawness that is difficult to listen to. The pain was real. The loneliness was real. And somehow, impossibly, it did not break him. It built him. At age 12, Elon taught himself to code. He created a video game called Blaster, a simple space shooter, and sold it to a computer magazine for $500. He was 12 years old. He had already made his first sale, already understood that ideas had value, already understood that a mind willing to build something new could generate something from nothing. That understanding would define the rest of his life. At 17, desperate to escape South Africa and the painful relationship with his father, he moved to Canada, his mother's home country. With almost no money and no plan beyond the burning certainty that bigger things existed somewhere, and he was going to find them. From Canada, he made his way to the United States, the place where he believed the biggest ideas in the world were being turned into reality. He enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania. He studied economics and physics simultaneously. He slept in his office. He ate cheaply and thought constantly. He was accepted into Stanford University for a PhD program in energy physics. He showed up, and 2 days later, 2 days, he dropped out. Because the internet was happening, and Elon Musk was not willing to study the future while it was being built without him. In 1995, he co-founded Zip2, a software company that provided maps and business directories to newspapers. 4 years later, he sold it for over $300 million. His share was $22 million. Most people would have stopped there. Retired at 27, bought a beach house, and disappeared. Elon took almost all of it and immediately started again. He co-founded X.com, an online payment company. It merged with a competitor and became PayPal. When eBay acquired PayPal in 2002 for $1.5 billion, Elon's share was $180 million. He was 31 years old. He was already extraordinarily wealthy, and he was just getting started. He took that money and did something the entire business world called insane. He started a rocket company, SpaceX, Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, founded in 2002 with the stated goal of making humanity a multiplanetary species. The first 3 SpaceX rockets exploded. $180 million burning on launch pads in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. His friends begged him to stop. His advisors told him the money was gone. Elon had enough left for one more attempt. The fourth rocket launched successfully. NASA took notice. Contracts followed, and SpaceX became the company that eventually made history by launching the first privately funded spacecraft to reach orbit, dock with the International Space Station, and return safely to Earth. With a booster that landed itself back on a floating platform in the ocean, like something from a science fiction film. Simultaneously, he invested in a struggling electric car company called Tesla. He became CEO. He bet everything on the idea that electric vehicles were not a compromise. They were the future. Every major auto manufacturer in the world laughed. Tesla almost went bankrupt multiple times. Elon reportedly told his friends that he was sleeping on his friends' couches because he had run out of personal money. And then Tesla did not just survive. It detonated. It became the most valuable car company on Earth. It changed how the entire auto industry thinks about the future of transportation, and in doing so, it made Elon Musk the richest person in the history of human civilization, with a net worth that has touched 330 billion US dollars at its peak. His empire today is staggering in its scale and ambition. SpaceX is valued at over $200 billion dollars and is actively building the Starship rocket, the largest and most powerful rocket ever constructed, with the explicit intention of landing humans on Mars within this decade. Tesla continues to lead the global electric vehicle revolution. Neuralink is developing brain-computer interface technology that could allow paralyzed patients to control devices with their thoughts. The Boring Company is building underground tunnel networks to solve urban traffic. He acquired Twitter in 2022 for $44 billion dollars and renamed it X, a move that generated more controversy than almost any business decision in modern history. Whether you admire him or question him, you cannot ignore him. No one can. How does the world's richest man live? He has famously claimed to own almost no possessions. He sold most of his houses and says he stays in a small rented house near the SpaceX facility in Boca Chica, Texas. His private jet, which he uses constantly and which environmental critics have targeted repeatedly, is one of the most tracked aircraft in the world. He owns significant stock in his companies rather than traditional cash wealth. He has said publicly that he does not care about material luxury, that the only thing he genuinely wants to spend money on is accelerating the future. His personal life has been as turbulent as his professional one. He has been married 3 times, twice to the same woman, actress Tallulah Riley. He has 11 children by multiple partners. He is famously a workaholic, known to sleep in Tesla factories during production crises, to send emails at 3 in the morning, to demand from his teams the same impossibly high standards he demands from himself. Those who love working for him describe a visionary who makes the impossible feel inevitable. Those who have left describe an environment of crushing pressure and relentless expectation. Both things appear to be true simultaneously. Now, here are 5 things about Elon Musk that most people do not know. He was born with a condition that some researchers believe places him on the autism spectrum. He publicly identified himself as having Asperger's syndrome on Saturday Night Live in 2021. His first company, Zip2, operated from a small office where he slept on a beanbag because he could not afford an apartment. He originally wanted to be a physicist before entrepreneurship consumed him completely. He once offered to buy Coca-Cola, not to run a drinks company, but specifically to remove cocaine from the original formula as a publicity stunt. And despite being worth hundreds of billions of dollars, he has said his greatest fear is not failure, but dying on Earth without making humanity a spacefaring civilization first. Here is what the story of Elon Musk truly means. He was a bleeding boy at the bottom of a concrete staircase in South Africa, with no friends, no future, and no reason to believe the world would ever make sense. He decided, in that broken state, that he was going to understand the universe well enough to change it. He has spent every single day since then trying. He has failed spectacularly. He has been mocked without mercy. He has lost everything and rebuilt it multiple times. He has made decisions that have divided the entire world into people who believe he is saving humanity and people who believe he is endangering it. But here is the one thing that nobody, not his harshest critics, not his most devoted followers, can honestly dispute. He looked at the future. And he decided it was not arriving fast enough. So he went to get it himself. And the world has never been the same since.